Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Windsor Racecourse here on Friday. It is May the 10th, 2019. I'm going to look at all the races here on the final day of the May Festival from Chester, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And also stay with me. We have a lot of things to plug here. Join me tomorrow from Lingfield. It's Derby and Oaks Trial Day from there, and I really like that card. So join me here on YouTube for that. Also join me tomorrow, Saturday, for the from Belmont here in New York. We have the Manowar Festival, and the Manowar is a great mile 3 furlong race on the turf, and it's one of those major turf races of the year here in New York. And it, like I said, it always comes up great. There's a little bit of a European flair in it with Ian O'Brien sending a few horses into running it. Also, the European horses have had a good record in that race. Can't speak, but join me on YouTube for that tomorrow from Belmont. And also Sunday is the French 2000 1000 guineas from Longchamp, and I'll have preview selection for that card here on YouTube also. But let's get to today's action from Chester. We have 7 races to look at, and I think you can make some money with this card. So let's get on to it. The first race to 150. It's the Liverpool Gin Earl Grosvenor handicap. It's class 2 handicap, going for a purse $45,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Horse rate 86 to 105. Field of 16 horses going 1,600 meters about, or the distance of ground of about 1 mile on the turf course. My top selection here, I'm going to go with the 7-horse pardon me if I mispronounced this horse's name wrong. I'm just pardon that. My top selection is the 7-horse Patamegin Ridge. I don't look at the names usually before I start these videos. Sometimes I really should, because, you know, I usually screw them up. And when I do watch the replays, I usually watch without the commentator. I should start listening to the commentator to get the horses' names right, the correct pronunciation, whatever. But Shane Kelly's on this one for Richard Hughes. Finally able to get him by Kalachi. But the horse's Mostry is now given 27th of April at Haydock. Soft ground, 7 furlongs in a class 2 handicap. He finished second by 1 quarter lengths. He was drawn a little bit wide that day, but he had a little bit of a turn of foot, but he still needs to excel a little bit more. You know, I think coming here a little lesser quality of a race. I just think he'll run a lot better than he did at Haydock. Before that, he ran on the 26th of October at Newbury in yielding ground, 7 furlongs in a class 4 handicap. I stepped down classrooms last year. He finished second by 3 lengths. It was one of those stupid 20-horse handicaps, but he was closing up well at the end. He had a decent turn of foot. I thought he ran quite well there. And then at Chester back here on yielding ground, 7 furlongs, 29th of September, class 4 handicap. He won by 3/4 length. You know, he could have won by more, even from a wide posture. It doesn't get any easier than that. He has a good inside posture here today. He's a course and distance winner. He has the speed to win. Second off the break. I like soft ground. 5 to 1. I'll take him, and I'll go to the bank with him. So to recap my selections for the first 150 from Chester, gonna go with the 7-horse. I'll go 795 in the tri-cash trifecta. 795 tri-cash trifecta. Let's get to the second race to 225 from Chester. It is the Group 2 Huxley Stakes. It's a Group 2 race going for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $161,500. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 6 horses going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 1-horse Adib. I'm going to go 136 in the tri-cash trifecta. 136 tri-cash trifecta. Top selection, 1-horse Adib. 5-year-old gelding by Pivotal. James Doyle gets leg up for William Haggis. The horse's most recent out came the 17th of November at Lingfield, 1 mile, 1/4 in illicit stakes. He finished third by a length there behind Mass of the World, who was quite a decent horse, and the second place finisher at Big Country is a decent horse also. But this horse, he just never had the turn of foot. He had a good inside post draw, but he just never excelled. It wasn't his day to win. It was off a tough campaign though in the fall. Before that, he ran the Group 1 QE2 Cup at Ascot. Very, very wet, heavy ground. Was rated soft officially, but it was more on the heavier side of soft. I'd rather call it heavy ground. 1 mile on October the 20th in the QE2. He finished 12th by 22 lengths, and he just did not handle it. First off the break, the setting their heights just a little bit too high there. And then at Newbury, 1 mile in the Group 1 lock-in. She finished 8th by 9 3/4 lengths. You know, the filly Rhoda Rendon ran a hell of a race there. This horse was just never into it. But before that, won the Bet 365 miles very nicely at Sandown, and won the Lincoln before that very nicely at Doncaster in 2018. He's proven he can run on wet ground. He's proven he could, run some good races against some Group 2 horses, but he can't run against those Group 1 horses. This group today, off the break, it's a lesser quality group of horses. And I just think he'll run well. He has a good poster. He can sit closer, and I just think he'll get back to his winning ways here today. So at 5-2, I'll take him. It's not the best price in the world, I do know, but to recap my selection for the second, the 225 from Chester. It's the Group 2 Huxley Stakes. Gonna go with the one horse Adib. I'm gonna go 136 from the Tri-Cash Trifecta to race number 3. The 3 o'clock, the third race from Chester. It's the Boodles Diamond Handicap. It's Class 2 handicap going for a purse of $45,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Horses rated 86 to 105. We have a field of a dozen horses going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to take the 3-horse Francus. I'm going to go 3-2-1 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 3-2-1 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection, the 3-horse Francus. 5-year-old horse by Frankel. Daniel Thudhope gets the leg up for David O'Meara. The horse's most recent out came on 27th of April at Ripon, 1 mile, 1/2 in a Class 2 handicap. First off the break, I thought he ran a major improvement off his races last year. He finished second by a length. He stayed the distance well. He had the blinkers on that day, quickened up nicely. It was a good effort. I think second off the break, back to a mile and a quarter, which I think he'll like a little bit better than a mile and a half, but he still liked the last time out. Back to a mile and a quarter trip, soft ground, sitting closer. I just think he'll run a hell of a race. Like I said, he ran some crap races last year, most recently in 2018 on the 17th of November, a mile and a quarter in listed stakes. He finished ninth by 8 3/4 lengths. That's the same race, Master of the World, and Big Country, and my other horse, Adib, came out of in the previous race. But this horse, he was under the drive from a wide poster, weakened out of it. He just ran crap there. And then before that, in Newmarket, a mile and a quarter in listed stakes, finished fourth by 16 lengths. And again, he ran crap. No blinkers on that day. He just never got into it. And then the Earl of Sefton at Newmarket, a mile and 8th of April of 2018. He finished 7th by 18 lengths, and the ground was very dry, and I don't think he'd like that. And, before that, he ran the list stakes in September 2017 at Goodwin, ran crap, finished 6th, and then ran in the Winter Hill Stakes at Windsor in 2017, where he finished 5th by 8 lengths as favored. Again, he weakened out of it. He hasn't won since 2017, so he's due for a victory. I think coming back here, back to blinkers, after a good run last time out, I think he's sitting on a good race. Looking over the horses in this race, they're not nearly as tough as some of those horses he's faced in the last 2 years, so I think he's due for a victory at 5-1. I'll take him. Out of all the races on the card from Chester today, he'll be my best bet at 5-1. So to recount my selection for the third, the 3 o'clock from Chester's the Boodles Diamond Handicap, let's go with 3-horse Francus. I'll go 3-2-1 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta to race number 4. The featured 4th race, the 335 from Chester. It is the Chester Cup Handicap. It's Class 2 handicap going for a purse of $192,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 17 horses racing around 4 turns, I believe, going the distance of ground of 3,800 meters, or about the distance of ground of 2 miles and 3/8 on the turf course. A very long staying race here. A very wide open handicap. I'll give you my top 2 here, and I'll give you my top 3, but I'll give you the 2 horses I think most definitely have a chance here. My top selection, I'm going to use the number 6 horse Cleo Note, and I'll also use the 3-horse Austrian School. I'll go 6-3-5 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 6-3-5 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection, 6-horse Cleo Knight. This 6-year-old gun by Sir Percy. Sylvester D'Souza gets leg up for Andrew Balding. The horse's most recent outing came 10 days ago on the 1st of May at Ascot. 2 miles in the Group 3 Sagaro Stakes, and I thought he ran a decent third place finish by 4 lengths behind XDB or DXB. He closed up a little bit that day. He had a good weight. He got around the racecourse well first off the break. It was a good run. Before that, he ran a Newmarket on the 13th of October, 2 miles and a quarter in the Cambridgeshire. What's that big long handicap in the fall, going the 2 mile and a quarter trip? Can't remember it now. But he finished there by 1/2 lengths there, and he just he stayed the distance well. Had that little bit of a turn of foot. I thought he ran decently that day, and then at Ascot, 2 miles in a Class 2 handicap, the 11th of August, when they had the jockey challenge, he won by 3/4 length. He had a high weight that day, but he still took off clear and stayed the distance well. And then the extended 2 miles at Newbury in a Class 2 handicap, finished 6 by 4 lengths. The ground was very dry, which I don't think he liked. He likes soft ground. He's going to get it today, and I think he'll run a massive race at 5-1. I'll take him here, along with the 3-horse Austrian School, another horse that's going to like soft ground. This Joe Fanning, ridden Mark Johnson, trained 4-year-old colt by Telefio. The horse's seasonal reappearance came on the 20th of April at Musselburgh, a mile and 3/4 in a Class 2 handicap, and the horse won by 6 that day. He was much the best. He took off clear. It was a very good run there. Before that, he ran the 5th of October at Ascot, a mile 3/4 in listed stakes, and he finished third by 2 lengths and never got into it. He never got that good turn of foot. It wasn't his day to win. And then at Doncaster, a mile 13/16 in a Class 2 handicap on St. Ledger weekend, St. Ledger Day, he finished second by a head, and he just missed at the end, but he ran just as good as the winner just in time. And then before that, he ran at Goodwood in a 2 mile Class 2 handicap where he finished second by 1/2 lengths. Again, he stayed well. He'll like the longer trip today. He has a good post draw, and I think at 6-1, he's another horse definitely get a piece of it. I know I would definitely use him in the place pot, but to recap my selections now for the fourth, the 335 from Chester, it's the Chester Cup handicap. Gonna go with the 6-horse Clear Nate. I'll also use the 3-horse Austrian School, and I'll go 6-3-5 in the TriCash trifecta, 6-3-5. So now let's get to race number 5. The 410, the 5th race from Chester. It is the White Oak UK Condition Stakes. Class 3 conditions going for a purse of $26,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Never won a pattern race after May the 3rd of 2018. Field of 8 horses going 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs on the turf course. My top selection here, I'm going to take the favorite Kachi, the 1-horse Kachi. I think he'll run a massive race. I'll go 1-5-8 in the TriCash trifecta. 1-5-8 TriCash trifecta. That's going to be the only way to really make money with this race. But the top selection, 1-horse Kachi, the 6-year-old horse by Kalachi. Richard Kingscote, the regular rider, gets on this one for Tom Dascombe. The horse's most recent outing came the 29th of April at Linkfield. 6 furlongs in the all-weather conditions sprinting championship stakes. He won by 3 1/4. He was the 44 cents of the dollar favorite, and he just took off clear. It was a very good run there. One of his best races of a lifetime. Before that, the 2nd of February, Linkfield, 6 furlongs in the listed stakes. He won by 3 1/2 again. And just had that turn of foot and just won very nicely again from a wide post draw. And then the Class 2 at Wolverhampton, 6 furlongs on Boxing Day. He won by 6. That race in years past has always come up strong, and this horse, he was just much the best there. Very easy race. You know, they took this horse against some tougher horses last summer, running in some tough Group 1s and Group 2s. And, you know, he ran decently in some spots, like in the Temple Stakes at Haydock last May. But then after that, he kind of fell off the mark in the King's Stand where he couldn't beat Blue Points, and then he definitely fell off the stand in the King George Qatar Stakes at Goodwood in August, where he finished 5th. But back to the conditions horses, he's going to be the heavyweight here. He'll handle the soft going, and I just think he'll run well. He's much the speediest horse here. So at 3 to 5, I'll take him. But like I said, 3 to 5, it's a shit price. So we'll have to hit the TriCast. So here's my TriCast to recap my selection for the 5th, the 410 from Chester. It's the White Oak UK Condition Stakes. Going to go with the 1-horse Catchy. I'm going to go 1-5-8 in the TriCast trifecta. It's race number 6. The 6th race, to 440 from Chester. It's the English Fine Cotton's Apprentice Handicap. It's Class 4 Apprentice Handicap, going for a purse of $18,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Horses rate 71 to 85. Field of 12 horses going 2,400 meters or a mile and a half on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to take the 5-horse Heart of Soul. I'm going to go 5-8-6 in the TriCash trifecta. 5-8-6 TriCash trifecta. Top selection of 5-horse Heart of Soul. 4-year-old Gelding by McFay here. Cameron Noble gets leg up for Ian Williams. The horse's most recent outing came the 22nd of April at Wolverhampton, a mile and a half in a Class 5 novice. He finished third by 8 lengths, and the 2 in front of him just took off. He just never got that good turn of foot. You know, he ran okay, but he still never, he never excelled. The 2 in front of him were just much the best. Before that, Selvo, a mile and a half on the 27th of April, 27th of March, in a Class 5 main race going the mile and a half. He finished second by a length, and he just missed at the end. He closed up well with a heavyweight. It was a decent effort. And then at Linkfield, a mile and a quarter on the 13th of March in a Class 6 main election, he finished third by 5 lengths. Again, he stayed the trip well, even with that ginormous weight he was carrying. He was carrying 128 last time out, which was okay. Before that, 139, which wasn't okay, and then 140, which was a load of weight there also. Today he's only carrying 132, which I think will be a good weight. He does love Chester. He ran here quite a few times last year, most recently on the 16th of June on firm ground, a mile and a half in a Class 2 handicap, and that was one of his best races of his lifetime. He finished second by a neck. He just couldn't get that good turn of foot at the end, but at 26 to 1, he ran well. And then before that, Chester on the 26th of May, a mile and a half in a Class 4, he finished 7th by 17 lengths, and he had had a wide poster. He never got into it, and then he ran here in the May Festival last year, going a mile and a quarter in Class 3 maiden. He finished fifth by 6.5 lengths. He was on the drive most of the race and was never getting into it. But I think the mile and a half trip, second off the break, low weight, I think he'll really run well. So at 4-1, I'll give him the shot. So to recount my selection for the 6th, 440 from Chester, let's go with the 5-horse Heart of Soul. Let's go 5-8-6 in the trifecta. So now let's get to race number 7. The 5:15, the 7th race from Chester, the nightcap of the May Festival. It is the Sport Pisa Chester Plate Handicap. It's a Class 2 handicap going for a purse $65,500, race for 4-year-olds and upwards, which were eliminated from the Chester Cup because of, their status. Fields of 15 horses going 3,800 meters, or the 2 miles and 3/8 trip on the turf course. My top selection here, I'm going to take the 1-horse Master Archer. I'm going to go 1-5-11 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 1-5-11 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection, 1-horse Master Archer. 5 again, my Master Craftsman. Searin Fowling gets the leg up for James Fanshawe. The horse's most recent out came the 13th of October at York. 2 miles in soft ground, Class 3 handicap. He finished 11th by 35 lengths, and he's done early that day. He never got into it, and it wasn't his day to win. Before that, at Chester on good ground, September the 1st, 2 miles in a Class 4 handicap. He won by 1 3/4 lengths, and he had a high weight that day, and it didn't really matter because he just took off clear. It was a very good victory. And then at Newmarket, 2 miles in a Class 3 handicap, he finished 4th by 3 1/4 lengths there. He never changed leads until late in the race, but he still ran well against those tougher horses. And then before that, at York, 2 miles on firm ground in Class 3 handicap, finished 2nd by 3/4 length. He stayed well that day, and he won here at Chester back in June in a 2-mile handicap, won by 1 1/4 lengths, and he just again took off clear. He likes the 2-mile trip. He loves Chester, and he has speed from the inside. He's supposed to carry 136 pounds, but with the 7-pound apprentice up, he's only carrying 127 or 28, which I think is a great weight here. And I think he'll run well at 6-1. I'll go to the bank on him. He would be my second best bet of the day. So let's end the day off and the meet off well from Chester. So to recount my selection for the 7th, 5:15 from Chester, it's the Chester Plate Handicap. Gonna go with the 1-horse Master Archer. Let's go 1-5-11 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5.